My first time. That's right. My first time doing a banknote search. I got a little stack of Canadian $1 banknotes that I want to search through, and being this is my first time searching through banknotes, I wanted to do a little research. So I put together a presentation that I'll share with you, and hopefully it's got some information to help you on your banknote search, and we can identify some rarities or special banknotes. I did my best to get any information that I found, but by all means, if I'm missing something or didn't get something right, please make a comment below. I appreciate it. Thanks. Going to do a couple of things that are different for this video. Um, and One is we're going to search some Canadian banknotes, and two is we're going to do a presentation video. So both new items for me, and we'll see how they go. But I had received or bought an estate lot of coins, and inside that lot there was a number of banknotes as well, currency. And so finally got a chance to look through them. But before I started to search them, I thought I'd better learn a little bit about what I was searching for. And so we've put together a slideshow with information that I found off the internet. Of course, I always say that the best place to go is to Google search something if you're looking for information. You see lots of people asking about certain coins or banknotes, and it's amazing what you can do by searching items. You can do, I think it's Google image, take a picture of something, and it'll find information about that image that you took. It's just crazy. But for this video and this slideshow presentation, I went to two main places. One is the Bank of Canada website, and the other one, and probably the most of my information, came directly from Coins in Canada website, and this is quite a really great site. I go here quite a bit myself, and it's got all kinds of information on coins and banknotes, and it even tells you some of the values of supposed or values of coins and banknotes that they've sold for in the past. So good place to go, and if you're just starting out, that's a great place to get some information. Why do we search and hunt for coins or banknotes? It's usually because we want to know if we got something that's worth some money, some value. Either due to it being a rarity or such. But it's quite fun, like a treasure hunt, to go through your inventory, whatever it might be, however you might get it, whether you buy a lot of stuff or you buy it off an auction, which I post quite a few videos on things that I find on online auctions. Also, I buy stuff from Facebook, and sometimes you don't really know what you're getting until you get it back, or even coin roll hunting. But so this video, we're talking about banknotes, and again, information from Coins in Canada, and so a couple things that create value, I guess, is supply and demand. Is it low mintage? Are they hard to find? Did they all get destroyed? So like I know myself, for my coins with my Canadian small cent book, trying to find a 1925 penny is they've been pretty hot. So same with Canadian nickels, 5-cent pieces, the 1925, and then 1926 FAR 6. You have a slot in your book, and you demand to have it. So supply and demand is really good. value creator. Grade, so condition of the banknote or the coin. You know, if you get something, you find a mint roll and it's got brand new uncirculated coins, or even in my case with the notes I have, somebody's taken them and put them away, and you know, they've never been circulated, and you know, they're like they're brand new. So if you got good quality coin or note, then you got something that's going to have some value for sure and worth keeping and maintaining it in that condition. Rarity, um, you know, there's we're going to get into this one, and that's kind of the purpose of the video, is the different rarities. You know, mainly the serial numbers, who signed the notes or endorsed them, the prefixes, why they were changed, and that'll be a big one that we get to look at for our search here and information within this video. So previous slide we talked about the rarities, and one being special serial numbers. The serial number can be different random sequences of numbers that you know, can make interesting finds, and we'll go through some of the different combinations of serial numbers that can make your note worth a little bit of money. Another item to look for, so you got down below here, we see the serial number, and then is the prefix that's in front of the serial number. There's different designations and identifiers that can tell you whether or not your note is special or not. So a little more further in the video about that. So by no means, as you can tell from my video, am I an expert on values and what are good notes to keep and which are not. But this quick slide again shows you some places that you can do your own research, and you should always do your own research. And this top one here is again from Coins in Canada website, and lots of links to click and find great information. Auction prices realized. So on your eBay sites, you put your filter on for you know, sold items, and you can see what that banknote or coin actually sold for. That's a great source of information. Then of course all the different books and catalogs, Carlton Canada Government Paper Money, and he's got a couple other ones, Stanley Canadian Circulating Coins, Tokens, Paper Money, Coins in Canada. Another place is to just ask a dealer or a collector. So go to your local coin shop and say, hey, I found this interesting banknote in my stack, and I'm wondering if it's worth anything. And, you know, depending if you're not really trying to sell it, they might give you a more realistic value, or they might tell you what they would pay for it. But sometimes too, I'll just go to a coin shop or a dealer that has notes and stuff, and see what he has there or they have, and then quiz them up on one, especially if you have one that's similar, and ask them about the price and how they got to that price. And lots of online forums, Coin Help You, different things that you can find, and just a tremendous amount of information. So you should never have to jump to a conclusion about your note or your coin. Do additional research, especially if you find something that looks like it is of interest. Well, we've covered some of the things that we want to look for, some of the varieties, and where to find what the varieties are worth if you find them. And so now let's get into some more of the details here. So one of the things with banknotes is they're signed, endorsed, and So the governing council of the Bank of Canada consists of governor, senior deputy governor, and 4 deputy governors. It is their responsibility for monetary policy, decisions aimed at promoting a sound and stable financial system. So and the strategic direction of the bank. So pretty big deal. And these are the folks that the signatures of the governor and the senior deputy governor are on the banknotes. So, and these people change, so then you can, that's where you can see the varieties in the signatures on the notes. And some are worth a little more than the other ones, and some are a little more rare. I'm going to be hunting banknotes between 1969 to 1975, and that's one specific type. And so let's get looking at some of the signatures that we will be looking for. Our first signature is Gerald Bowie, and he was the governor of the Bank of Canada from 1973 to 1987, 7 years, quite a long term. I would suggest if you want to go through some of this information here, just take a quick pause and read through it. But we'll see the Bowie signature on $1 notes with the Bowie and Crow. So there's 2 signatures on each note, and a Lawson Bowie signature. So that'll be the first one we're watching for. Our next signature is of John Crow. He was appointed governor of the Bank of Canada in 1987 to 1994. But in the research I see, it says that he did sign some of these notes, 1969 to 1975. So I guess he must have been just on the governing board. It says in 1973 he was in the research department. So I guess maybe that's one that might be a little bit more rare to find. I guess we'll find out. If we do find some, then we'll dive into it a little bit deeper. Our next signature is Rustin Lawson, and it just says that he was on the board of directors from 1973 to 1984. That was all the information that was available on the website I was watching. So another one we'll be watching for. If we find some, we'll dig into it a little deeper. So we talked about signatures, and the next variety to look for is the serial numbers and the different types of serial numbers to watch for. And the first one here is a solid serial number. It's just a solid number formed with a single digit, and this one's 5s. Below is a clip from some of the note values that have been graded, and I think some of the people, you know, if there was a note submitted for grading, it would be identified here, and then I believe once the note's been graded, there has to be a number of notes of that grade sold for an average price so that it shows up. This is, you know, these notes that I'm showing here are not our $1 note that we're going to be looking at, but we can definitely watch for these type of serial number varieties. Again, disclaimer, I am not a professional. We're learning this stuff together, and I appreciate you sending me any comments on my videos and help me learn if you have additional information or if I've misinterpreted what I've read. But this is an interesting one, and I'm expecting that this would be a little bit harder to find. Is a rotational note. So basically what it's saying is there's very few numbers 0, 6, 8, and 9 that this can actually happen with. So if you flip the 6s over, if you flip this number over, you would have 9s here and 6s here. So a rotational note. 8s would just not change because it would look like an 8, or the same with a 0. So not too many of these, but as you can see, there's been a few graded and sold. So And this clip again is the $1 note, so the one that we're going to be looking at. And so, not a bad deal here. Like if you do find an uncirculated uh, rotator note, you can get $160 for a $1 note. So it's definitely one, if you can find them, a good one to spot. Radar notes. There's going to be several of these with the different numbers of digits that can be read, but it's basically saying that you can read it from either end, one or either direction. Then you end up with the same number, so 77770 or 77770, and kind of neat. None that's been submitted in price, so we're gonna see a few of these radar notes we'll go through, but let's go to the next one. The last radar note was called a 2-digit radar note, and that was because it had sevens and zeros. This one's a 3-digit radar note, and here we have 1, 6, and a 0. And like you say, you can either read it from either direction, and it's like repeated. So another radar note, 3-digit radar note. And I believe this is the last radar note we have, the 4-digit radar note with 7342 is the 4 digits, and this one shows a little bit different or more predominant with the 7342, 7342, being able to read it from either direction. My mouse wasn't, pointer was not working there, but so this is would be pretty neat to find for sure. A ladder note, kind of self-explanatory, and you can see in the example here pretty clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I guess it could be offset a little bit either way, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ladder note, climbing up. And there was a few that have been sent in for grading and sold, and wow, look at over here, we're looking at almost uncirculated at about $500, so that would be a pretty good find. A millionaire, a million note. Who wouldn't want to be a millionaire or find a note that would make you a millionaire? A million note is formed with a digit followed by 6 zeros. So pretty again self-explanatory. One number and 6 zeros. And there's been some graded, and I see a signature here that we didn't have the name of Osborne. We'll have to see. But holy smokes, look at the values on these ones in almost circulated. So and even good. So that would be one to find as well. Low number notes, kind of the opposite of the million note, with 6 zeros and a number at the bottom. And low number, as we'll go through, could, doesn't have to be this one particular is one, but like I got one here at $16,000 for a low number note. So I imagine that's coming off the press pretty early in the printing game. So the previous note was for the actual number 1 note, and then the next set of low number notes to watch for is anything between 2 and 9. And this one here, there doesn't show that there was any that were graded or valued, but I think one of these would pop out pretty easy when you're doing a hunt for through your currency, through your banknotes. Oops, I see that I got an error updated my slide, and this should read 10 to 9.99 for a two 2-digit low number note. I think it would still show up pretty well in a hunt, and none were graded, but I think if you did find one and you did get it out there and get it graded, it'd probably be worth doing so. Again, I missed on my slide over here, but we got it right here on my cut and paste, and pretty self-explanatory. Low number note, 3 digits, and they've it looks like obviously more of these around, so there has been some sent in and graded and valued, so pretty good chance on finding one of these, I think, and um, yeah, definitely be worth sending in to get graded if we do find one. Well, that was all the slides I had on the serial numbers and the different varieties there. So the next part then is the prefix, and the first slide here I have is about finding an asterisk. So if there's an asterisk in front of the prefix like this, that means it's a replacement note. And um, I don't have any of the values listed here, but I think if we looked it up, we'd probably find that they're worth more than $1 anyways. So then you go back to condition and grading and that kind of thing on them. But says in 1954, the asterisk was placed in front of the serial number for notes that were printed to replace notes that were damaged or spoiled by the banknote companies in production, or spoiled by the Bank of Canada officials during signing. So these are they were replaced before they were circulated, is my interpretation, and yeah, I still think that's pretty cool, but it says down here most of these notes are common, but watch for the following as they are a little more scarce. Is a signature by Lawson Bowie replacing a note with the prefix. So we'll jot this down, and when we go to hunt through those, we'll put any aside that we have with an asterisk, and we'll do further investigation. I think this is the last slide I have on prefixes, but test notes. Test notes are recognizable by finding the letter X in the prefix. Test notes are rare and can bring a high price. These are designed primarily to showcase printers' ability to design and produce banknotes. So the printer puts out a run through the print press of some notes, and they're considered test notes, and they have the X in them. So definitely another one to keep our eye open for. All right, a little bit of information specifically about the banknote we're going to be searching in the next video, and we're the $1 Canadian banknote. So the $1 note was issued in 1974 and printed by both Canadian Banknote Company and British American Banknote Company. This was the last $1 note issued by the bank. With the introduction of the $1 coin, the loonie, the issuing of the $1 notes ended in 1989, and the back features a tugboat in the middle of a broken log boom in the Ottawa River near Parliament Hill, and this was based on a photograph, and we got a little bit information in the next slide about that. So let's go right on to the next one. So the $1 banknote is the Scenes of Canada, and down here it says the Bank of Canada staff referred to the series as the multicolored series, and I agree, the 5 and the 20 and all the banknotes from that series are one of my favorites, or some of my favorites, and it says here the $1 is the most subtle. So you see the front and the back of the note, and this is the image of the tugboat, the broken log jam, and the Parliament buildings in the back, and it just kind of says that this image is long lived in Canadian collective memory, and the image is actually showing an accident, but still pretty impressive imagery. A little more on the image on the back. It's actually a photograph. Here is the same tugboat and all the logs and the Parliament buildings. It says that the photographer was Malik Karsh, and it was a sunny summer day in 1963, and the boom broke apart. So a little bit of Canadian history put on the back of the note. Well, and finally the end of the slideshow, and I apologize for it taking so long to get through that, but and there again, we just kind of brushed on the highlights of stuff that we need to look for doing our hunt through our banknotes. So I got, like I say, a little pile of $1 banknotes, and my next video I'll do a quick search. Probably what I'll do is take this video and jot some of these notes down from the presentation so I have them on hand for my hunt, and hopefully you can take some of this information and you can go to the Coins in Canada website and get a lot of this exact same information. I just borrowed it from them to help us learn, and also the Bank of Canada and numerous other websites and places, books and stuff for information. But this is what I got, and this is what I'm going to go with when I do the next video for my Canadian banknote currency hunt. See you in the next video. Thanks.